Principal Registrar Shri Akhilesh Kumar Mishra, Officer on Special Duty Shri Hiten Dwivedi, respected members of the District Judiciary, officers and officials of the registry, ladies and gentlemen. As I address you today on this momentous occasion, I am filled with myriad of emotions as I bid farewell to a chapter of my life that has been incredibly fulfilling. I am indeed overwhelmed by the love and affection showered on me by each one of you during my tenure at Gwalior and the kind words spoken about me by each of the distinguished speakers. After 40 years of legal profession as an advocate and then as a judge, the time has come for me to pass on the gavel to a new generation of lawyers. At this hour, after profusely thanking the Almighty for everything, I remember my late parents and seek their blessings. I pray the Almighty may rest their soul in peace. In 1979, after finishing school, I went from Allahabad to Jabalpur to continue my studies as due to some disturbance in Allahabad University, academic sessions were running late. After graduation from St. Aloysius College, Jabalpur, and while pursuing law studies, I entered the esteemed chamber of my late uncle, Honorable Justice Gulab Gupta, a luminary deeply dedicated to the cause of social justice and legal empowerment. I worked hard doing various tasks there, which helped me a lot in my career later as a lawyer. During my legal studies, I spent a lot of time in judges' library and courtrooms, observing proceedings and learning about things worked there. I learned with keen interest, thereby honing understanding of judicial decorum, court etiquettes, and the art of persuasive argumentations, including imbibing wisdom from seasoned lawyers, middle-level practitioners, and budding talents alike. Although I was advised to start my practice directly at the Supreme Court, but I felt unsure due to my young age as I was only 22. Then I met late Shri Y.S. Dharmadhikari, a well-known legal figure and legal titan of his era. In a pivotal exchange, Mr. Dharmadhikari inquired as to my aspirations, whether I sought to be an advocate on record or an eloquent arguing counsel. Without hesitation, I declared my ambition to pursue the latter path. Thus guided, Mr. Dharmadhikari recommended that I commence my practice in Jabalpur, albeit with the condition that I establish my independence, separate from the shadow of my esteemed uncle Justice Gulab Gupta. Generously facilitating my transition, Mr. Dharmadhikari arranged for my accommodation in a spacious two-bedroom apartment situated right down Jabalpur, a gesture for which I remain profoundly indebted. Thus I started my journey under his benevolent mentorship in September 1984. I am indebted to senior advocate Shri M.L. Jaiswal, practicing in Jabalpur High Court, for a mature fatherly advice. In 1985, he suggested me to acquire the extensive law library of late Shri V.B. Rai from Katni, a senior counsel at Katni, as he had no one to succeed him as a lawyer. Embracing this suggestion, I secured a personal loan of Rs 15,000 from a nationalized bank to procure the library, which to this day stand as a cherished asset replete with legal tomes of All India reporters spanning from 1922 to 1984 and onwards, alongside sundry legal journals like MPLJ, MP Law Times, MPJRs, and different law and other general books. The establishment of this library within my office lent it a rich look. I married Vandana in the year 1990, and we stayed in that house for 2 years. Thereafter, we shifted to our new bungalow at South Civil Lines, Jabalpur in December 1992 with our 3-month-old daughter, Avantika. Of course, now in London as a professional in tax, audit and accounts. The younger daughter, Anushka, though came late, born on 17/2/2002, but I'm happy to note that she is completing BTech from IIT Delhi around the same period when I am debuting the office. Over the next 29 years, I practiced law in various legal areas. Becoming senior advocate in 2003 at the age of 41 was a profound moment for me, recognizing my years of experience and skill. Although I was offered judgeship in 2006, I chose to continue practicing law and move to Supreme Court. My eventual appointment as a judge in 2013 was, as I often reflect, was a tryst with my destiny. This decision was met with initial concern and reluctance from my family, but they eventually supported me, understanding the inherent nobility of the endeavor and importance of serving society through the legal system. I also felt that after dedicating 29 years to law practice, it was my duty to contribute further by becoming a judge, ensuring justice for all. I also believed that it was incumbent upon me to contribute meaningfully to society by engaging with apparatus of justice, a decision informed by my abiding gratitude towards the multitude of individuals, indigent litigants, and members of the legal fraternity alike who had contributed immeasurably to my journey as a lawyer. As I step down from the podium, I would like to share with you the key takeaways from my journey, a handful of information that might prove useful to the young advocates. Before preparing your brief, you should cultivate the art of listening well. You should allow your client to speak and divulge all the details of the case to gain insight into the matter. A well-organized brief case file halves the complications and doubles your confidence. Once you are in command of factual matrix, you are expected to know the law applicable to it. You should carefully read the relevant law. The idea of understanding the relevant law is to first carefully go through the aims and objects of the Act. Thereafter, you should pursue the definition clause and then come to the relevant section. You should read the section with a neutral mindset and assess how it is applicable to the facts of your case. Then comes researching for relevant case laws. While reading a case law, you should not go by the precetum, as the precetum is not made by the judges, but editors and the staff of the publications. You should in fact cultivate the habit of going through the facts of the relevant case law and understand the context in which the law has been enunciated by the court. By doing so, you will be able to understand as to how close to the facts of your case are to that of the case, and then you should be able to select the closest case law in the given facts and circumstances of your case. Having understood the context in which the law has been laid down, you will be able to draft a more relevant, precise, and crisp brief on the subject. While preparing for your arguments, remember that knowledge is your greatest ally in the courtroom. You should be a master of facts and should be able to handle all queries on facts with supreme ease. Before beginning your arguments, You should frame your mind as to how you have to pilot and proceed in the case. The approach for admission and final hearing matters is a bit different. Anticipate the queries right from maintainability to merits and the counter arguments which may come your way. You should be able to meet them all with convictions and confidence. Even if you are appearing only to take adjournment in a case, get familiar with the facts of the case because an opportunity can come your way to make a lasting impression on the judge. These days, courts are flooded with plethora of cases and the time window for a short case is limited. You should be able to deliver the punchline in opening 2-3 sentences, embodying all the relevant facts so that the court gets to know the factual background. Similarly, in hearing party matters, you should be thorough with the record so that you may quote complete facts in detail and with assistance and of documents and answer the queries of the court. Make your case memorable through clear, concise and persuasive arguments. You should perfect the art of persuasion and have exemplary court manners. Persuade the judge by logic and argumentative skills. If you find a judge not receptive to your point, leave that point and take up some other point, but revert back to the original point after you have made the judge receptive. Remember, even if you lose a case, a judge would never forget a logical point or argument put forth by you. Never rest your argument solely on the basis of case laws. You should read the case law to help facilitate articulation of your submissions. But the case law should not be the one and the only point of your submissions. As a lawyer, what is more important is presentation of a case. Whether you win a case or lose a case, we can only persuade a judge, but judgment is to be given by the judge only. Your performance in the court speaks for your publicity. Therefore, your performance in every case is important, whether it is a big or a small. Besides, your punctuality and availability play a crucial role in your success. You should be consistent at behalf in chamber and court both. You should have the habit of regularly coming to the court even if you don't have the case listed on that day. You can go to different courtrooms listening to the arguments or sit in the library to enrich your knowledge. Your mind should always engage in pursuit of knowledge and understanding, which will distinguish you intellectually. All these things help in shaping you as a good advocate, an advocate with original thinking. This would help you develop the art of visualizing different dimensions of a given case with different logical results. Your understanding of law should be such that you may give different logical shades steadfast with the color of factual matrix with the help of constructive interpretation of law. At this juncture, it is needless to say, they should always respect your seniors and give love and affection to your juniors. You should never lose your mental balance with clients, advocates, or in the court. It disturbs your entire line of thinking and you may lose a case because of intemperate conduct or performance. In such situation, we say that you have identified yourself with the case. Losing or winning a case is not important. Preparation and performance enriches your experience and that makes you a good advocate. Besides that, I am also impassioned by the belief that the strength of our judiciary lies not only or solely within the grand halls of our higher courts, but also with the steadfast dedication of our district judiciary, the first and the final court for the 85% of the litigating population. As statistics goes, only 15% cases come to the High Court and only 8 to 9% cases go to Supreme Court. The district judiciary serves as the bedrock of our legal system, the first line of defense in the pursuit of justice for all. It is within the walls of our district courts and magistrates courts that the fabric of our society is woven, where the rights of the vulnerable are protected. Yet, in our pursuit of justice, we must acknowledge the challenges that confront our district judiciary. Limited resources, overwhelming caseloads, and systematic inefficiencies threaten to erode the very pillars upon which the edifice of justice stands. But it is precisely in the face of these challenges that the strength of our resolve must shine the brightest. We must strive to empower our district judiciary not merely with resources and infrastructure, but with the unwavering support of our collective commitment to justice. I am of the firm view that the members of the district judiciary require meaningful motivation and effective protection, ensuring congenial atmosphere for work. Then only we may nurture and expect a culture of excellence where every judge, every clerk, and every member judiciary is inspired to uphold the highest standards of integrity and impartiality and diligence. Above all, we must never lose sight of the human element that lies at the heart of our judiciary. Behind every case, every judgment, and every verdict, there are lives hanging in the balance, individuals seeking solace and redemption within the halls of justice. It is our solemn duty to ensure that every individual who walks through the doors of our courts is treated with dignity, respect, and compassion. Being a judge is not merely a profession. It's a vocation, an opportunity to make a tangible difference in the lives of those who come before us. Each decision we make has a far-reaching consequences that extend far beyond the confines of our courtrooms. Let us reaffirm our commitment to the strengthening of our district judiciary, not merely as an institution of law, but as a beacon of hope and justice for all. Let us stand united in our pursuit of a judiciary that is fair, accessible, and steadfast in its dedication to upholding the rights and liberties of every individual within our society. Together, let us strive to build a legal system that is not just blind, but compassionate, but not just punitive, but rehabilitative, but not just impartial, but empathetic. Let's be one trusted with hope for those who have been wronged, the voice of reason for those who seek truth, and the steadfast guardians of justice for all. In the words of Martin Luther King Jr., the arc of moral universe is long. The arc of moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. Let us be the architects of that bend, shaping a future where justice prevails and equality reigns supreme. Reflecting on my tenure as on the bench, I am overwhelmed with the gratitude for the privilege and honor it has been to serve the community in this capacity. Every day, I have been entrusted with the sacred responsibility of upholding justice, fairness, and the rule of law. It has been a profound journey, one marked by both challenges and triumphs. And above all, it has been deeply rewarding. I am indebted to my esteemed brothers and sisters, both past and present, whose dedication to the pursuit of justice has inspired me and enriched my own journey. Together, we have strived to ensure that every individual who entered our courtrooms received a fair and impartial hearing, regardless of their background or circumstances. Most importantly, I am thankful to the Almighty for entrusting me with the solemn duty of dispensing justice. It has been a privilege to serve the community and citizens of my country, and I hope that my efforts have contributed in small measures to the betterment of society. In closing, I extend my deepest gratitude to all who have touched my heart and my life during my tenure as judge, including our Principal Registrar, Shri Akhilesh Kumar Mishra, Officer on Special Duty, Registrar Shri Hiten Dwivedi, Secretarial staff comprising of Shri M.V.R. Balaji Sharma, former Secretary and currently Deputy Registrar at Indore, Bench Yogesh Verma, Assistant Registrar Secretaries Shri Anand Srivastava, Sanjeev Mphc, Shri Pawan Dharkar, Senior Personal Assistant Mrs. Varsha Chaturvedi, Personal Assistant Shri Sunil Dubey, Reader Shri Uday Belsawale,